Welcome to my channel, where we discuss everything and all things politics, especially about the 2023 presidential election in Nigeria. You know that a few days ago, I I released a video that I titled "Revealed: Peterobi won 90% of polling units in military areas and why it matters." That video was re-echoing what the Director General of the P2B campaign organization said on AIT on May 1st. That's Workers' Day, when he appeared on AIT Focus Nigeria. I'm talking about Akin Oshuntoku, the Director General of the APC Presidential Campaign Council. In that interview he had with AIT, he said that Peter Obi won 90% of the votes cast in military installations across the country, which was an indication that Peter Obi won the election. If you listen to or watch that program, you will see that Akin Oshuntoku was emphatic that Peter Obi won the election, and that there was no way that Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, the presidential candidate of APC, and the INEC declared president-elect, could have won the election. So you can therefore imagine my joy and excitement when somebody who did detailed research on this particular matter, emailed me and with the detailed research that he did in all the polling units across the country, in military installations and environs. I'm talking about Dr. Obinna Nwankwo. I'm so excited that he reached out to me, and that's what I want to share with you people, so that people will now see in facts and figures how Peter Obi won 90% of the votes cast in military installations in Nigeria. And why did he choose military installations for his study? Because these are the areas that you are likely to receive less instances or cases of election malpractices, because people will comport themselves better in military areas, in military zones. So that is what I'm going to share with you, and I want to start sharing this thing by looking at the reason why he carried out the study. Then we'll get to the level of going to look at state by states, polling unit by polling units across the country, so that you will see how Peter Obi indeed got 90% of the votes cast in military installations across the country, and why from this study it is obvious that Peter Obi couldn't have lost the election. He couldn't have lost the election if the election is free and fair, because where the election were free and fair in military installations across the country, this study has shown Peter Obi won. There are places he didn't win, but we're going to see it when we go state by state to look at how he fared, how Labour Party fared, how Peter Obi fared, how Tinubu fared, how Atiku Abubakar fared, and how Musa Rabiu Kwankwaso fared. So this is going to occur in series, because we have to look at some of these states separately. But before we do that, I want to go through the introduction of uh, of Dr. Obinawanko's research. The first one I'm looking at here is assessing the likely winner of the 2023 Nigeria presidential election using the voting patterns at military installations and environs by Dr. Obinna Sinwanko. Now he said elections in Nigeria are fraught with manipulations of results, underage voting, voter intimidation, and voter suppression. The recent introduction of the bimodal voter accreditation system, BVAS, by the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, and the electronic transmission of results from polling units was aimed at minimizing rigging. The failure to electronically transmit the results from polling units during the recent presidential election, as promised by INEC, has led to widespread belief of election tampering. It is therefore difficult to know the true number of votes scored by the candidates. The voting patterns at locations where the integrity of the voting result can be guaranteed could be used as a surrogate to estimate the true votes scored by the candidates. In other words, the voting results from locations where it's almost impossible for voter suppression, intimidation, underage voting, and the manipulation of results to occur could be used to estimate the true number of votes scored by the candidates. This method is not perfect, but could provide the best estimate in a system that is fraught with manipulations. Military installations and their immediate surroundings meet this criteria because they are arguably the best locations where the integrity of the election results can be trusted. The military is also populated by the different ethnic groups that constitute the federation and should therefore, to an extent, reflect the opinions of different ethnicities. Additionally, the political views of the communities that host these installations should also be captured as because these polling units are not exclusive to the military. The official INEC results reporting website was used for this study. So take note of that. The official INEC result reporting website was used for this study. The results from the military installations and the immediate environs was obtained as follows. Visit the INEC result reporting page, which is www.inecelectionresult.ng/elections, and select the presidential election. Then go to each state, local government, and ward. Number three, look through all the polling units contained in a ward for key words that denote a military installation or a close proximity to one. These key words were used like Army, Navy, Air Force, Barracks, NAOA, that is Nigerian Army Officers' Wives Association. Number four, document the local government, ward, polling unit code, name of polling units, and the number of votes scored by Labour Party, All Progressive Congress, and People's Democratic Party for the polling units that meet the inclusion criteria. The number of votes scored by the NNPP was also recorded for Kano State. An alternative website, cvr.inecnigeria.org/election_results/find by code, can also be used to check for election results if the polling unit code is known. There are a total of 176,846 polling units and the close to 1,607,000 results have been uploaded as of the time of writing. The process the process involving involves browsing through almost all the polling units. It is possible that a few polling units with military installations were missed during the collection of data. However, none was intentionally excluded. The result of the voting results at military installations and the immediate surroundings and those declared by INEC for the entire state are presented in the table below. Now, he presented the table to compare the results at the polling units and the result that INEC declared in the state in other locations which involve the whole state without excluding the military installations. Okay, because the military installations were sort of excluded in this study, but INEC has the general result for the whole state. For example, here, like what I'm looking at here, military installation and environs. Looking at the INEC IRIF, this is what he got in Abia State. Now, this is what we're going to look at, but we will go to details. Maybe I will break down this as I said, I will break down this. We will eventually go state by state. But it's like a summary in this particular section. Uh, Now, look at what he has here. In Abia State, military installations and environs. Looking at the IRIF, Labour Party got 95% of the votes. APC, that's Aswani Bola Ahmed Tinubu, got 3%. PDP got 1%. Now, if you go and check the total results released by INEC, Labour Party got 88%, APC 2%, PDP 6%. Now, Adamawa, military installations and environment, using the IRIF, going at the IRIF, Labour Party got 32% of the vote cast. That's Adamawa. APC got 29% of the vote in Adamawa. PDP got 37% of the vote cast in Adamawa. You can see that in Adamawa, Labour Party did very well here. This Adamawa is in northern Nigeria, because this is one of the things that they used to deceive people, that nobody knows Labour Party in the north. This Adamawa is in northern Nigeria. Peterobi got 32% in military installations, and Atiku Abubakar got 37%. Now, total state results by INEC in Adamawa, Labour Party got 14%, APC got 25%, PDP got 57%. This state is governed by PDP. Okay? Now, in Akwa Ibom State, in military installations, P2B got, that's P2B means Labour Party got 52% of the vote cast. APC got 33% of the vote cast, and PDP got 14% of the vote cast. It means in military installation and environment, in going at the INEC IRIF, P2B won in Akwa Ibom in military installations. In overall, in the results declared by INEC in Akwa Ibom, P2B got 29.9%, that's Labour. APC got 28.94%, and PDP got 38.5%. Now, we go to Anambra, military installation and environs, IRIF. In Anambra, P2B got 86.73%, APC got 7.9%, 5%. PDP got 5.7%. It means that in this military installation, Peterobi won in Anambra. Now, in the actual general result by INEC, Peterobi got 95% of the votes in Anambra. APC got 0.8%, 0.87% in Anambra. PDP got 1.47% in Anambra. Peterobi won in the military installations in Anambra. In Bauchi, this will shock you. In Bauchi, in military installations, Peterobi got 40.92%. Okay? APC, that's as well, Bola Ahmed Tinubu got 26.89%. PDP got 32.19%. And this is based on military installations and environs in Bauchi, going by the IRIF result that had been uploaded in INEC IRIF. Okay, Peterobi won in the military installations in Bauchi by 40.92%. Okay, but in the actual results, Labour Party got in Bauchi 3.21%. APC, that's Aswad Bola Ahmed Tinubu, got 37.1%. PDP got 49.98%. Okay, you see that there is a remarkable difference between where there could be rigging, like areas outside the military installations, compared to military installations where the elections are bound to be more free, fair, and the electoral process more accountable. In Bayelsa, there was no military installation found. Now, let us go to Benue. In Benue, Labour Party, that's Peterobi, got 77.78% of the vote cast in military installations. That is what he used in winning at military installations. APC, that's Aswad Bola Ahmed Tinubu, got 18.11%. PDP got 4.12%. Okay? Now, in the actual election, in the overall election results, as declared by INEC, Benue PDP, that's Labour Party, got 40% of the votes, 40.04%. Aswad Bola Ahmed Tinubu of APC got 40.32%, and PDP got 16.89%. And on comment, this state is governed by PDP. Now, in Borno State, Peterobi got 11.85% in military installations based on the IRIF results uploaded to the IRIF. APC got 56.85%, while PDP got 31.3%. In the overall result announced by INEC in Borno State, Peterobi got 1.55%, APC got 54.22%, and PDP got 41.03%. Now, Cross River, Peterobi got 81.54%. That's what he used in winning at the military installations, vote cast at military installations and environ in Cross River State. APC got 10.77%. PDP got 7.69%. In the overall INEC results, Labour Party got 43.15%. APC got 31.3%. PDP got 22.89%. This is an area governed by APC. In Delta State, at military installations, Peterobi got 82.67% of the vote cast. APC, that's Aswad Bola Ahmed Tinubu, got 11.06%. 0.03% of the vote cast, according to the result uploaded to the IRIF. Now, PDP, that's Atiku Abubakar, got 6.29%. In the INEC declared the results of the state, P2B got 55.55% of the vote cast. APC got 14.66% of the vote cast. PDP got 26.26% of the vote cast. In Ebonyi, their military installation and environment were nil. There was no results uploaded to the IRIF, but in the total state result by INEC, P2B got 78.83% of the vote cast. APC, that's Aswad Bola Tinubu, 13.03%. PDP, 4.50%. In Edo State, at military installations, P2B won by 91.88%. APC got 5.74%. PDP got 2.38%. In the actual results that was announced by INEC, P2B lead this state by 56.97%. Tinubu got 24.86%. PDP got 15.41%. In Ekiti, there were no military installations that was studied to find out their result on the IRIF, but in the actual result, in the result announced by INEC for the state, P2B got 3.7%. That's Labour Party, 3.7% of the vote cast. APC got 65.38%, and PDP got 29.06%. In Enugu State, P2B got 98.2% in military installations. That's what he used in winning Enugu State. And APC got 0.72%, PDP 1.08%. In the actual result, in the overall results for the state, P2B got 93.91% of the vote cast. APC got 1.05% of the votes. PDP got 3.45% of the votes. In the FCT, Federal Capital Territory Abuja, P2B won in military installations with 81.48% of the vote cast. APC got 12.47% of the vote cast. PDP got 6.05% of the vote cast. In the overall results of the FCT, P2B got 61.25% of the vote cast. Tinubu got 19.76% of the vote cast. Atiku got 16.13% of the vote cast. In Gombe, P2B got, at the military installation, 29.61% of the vote cast. APC got 7.14% of the vote cast. PDP got 63.25% of the vote cast. And Labour Party got 5.13% of the vote cast in the overall result of Gombe State. And APC got 28.82% of the vote cast. PDP got 62.17% of the vote cast. In Imo State, P2B won a military installation with 82.21% of the vote cast, while APC got 10.74% of the vote cast. PDP got 7.5% of the vote cast. In the overall results, Labour Party got 76.84% of the vote cast, and APC got 14.41% of the vote cast. and PDP got 6.53% of the vote cast. In Jigawa, there were no tabulation of results and military installations on the INEC IRIF. But in the overall results in Jigawa, P2B scored 0.2% of the vote cast. APC got 45.78% of the vote cast. PDP got 42% of the vote cast. In Kaduna, military installations, P2B won in Kaduna with 46.74% of the vote cast in military installations in Kaduna. And this is very important to look at this Kaduna. Kaduna has the highest concentration of military installations in Nigeria. No state in Nigeria can compare with Kaduna State in terms of military installations. And it is interesting that P2B won at military installations in Kaduna by 46.79% of the vote cast in military installations on INEC IRIF. Now, Aswad Bola Ahmed Tinubu got 29.54% of the vote cast. Atiku Abubakar got 22.12% of the vote cast. In the overall results, as announced by INEC, Labour Party got 23.67% of the vote cast. APC got 29.36% of the vote cast. PDP got 40.76% of the vote cast. In Kano, Kano should also interest you because in Kano, P2B won 33.64% of the votes cast in Kano military installations and environment. That is what P2B used in defeating Aswad Bola Ahmed Tinubu, who got 13.29% of the vote cast in military installations, and Atiku Abubakar, who got 11.53% of the vote cast in military installations. But in the overall result of Kano, P2B got only 1.67% of the vote cast in Kano. APC got 30.40% of the vote cast in Kano. And PDP got 7.74% of the vote cast in Kano. In Katsina, there were no votes recorded on the IRIF at military installations in Katsina. But in the result announced by INEC for Katsina, P2B got 0.6% of the vote cast. APC got 45.56% of the vote cast. PDP got 46.19% of the vote cast. In Kebbi State, this should also interest you for those who use to sell the lie that nobody knows P2B in the north. In Kebbi State, P2B won in military installations in Kebbi State by 59.54% of the vote cast. Tinubu got 21.37% of the vote cast. Atiku got 19.08% of the vote cast. Now, in the overall result announced by INEC for Kebbi State, P2B got only 1.91% of the vote cast. APC got 44.34% of the vote cast, while PDP got 50.97% of the vote cast. This is a state governed by APC. Now, in Kogi State, P2B got 29.99% of the vote cast in military installations. APC got 45.5% of the vote cast in military installations. And Atiku Abubakar, that's PDP, got 24.51% of the vote cast in military installations. Now, in the results announced for Kogi State by INEC generally, P2B got 12.31% of the vote cast. APC got 52.7% of the vote cast. PDP got 31.77% of the vote cast. In Kwara State, at military installations, as found in the IRIF, but in this study, P2B got 10.32% of the vote cast. PDP got 31.77% of the vote cast. In Kaduna, military installations, as found in the IRIF, but in this study, P2B got 10.3532% of the vote cast. 10.3532% of the vote cast. Now, in the overall result announced by INEC for Kwara State, P2B got 10.3532% of the vote cast. APC got 72.11% of the vote cast. PDP got 17.57% of the vote cast. In the general results, peterobi and Labour Party got 6.63% of the vote cast. APC got 56.08% of the vote cast. PDP got 29.13% of the vote cast. In Lagos, in military installations, as found in the INEC IRIF, peterobi got 64.28% of the vote cast, military installations. Tinubu, that's APC, got 28.4% of the vote cast. PDP got 7.32% of the vote cast. In the actual election, peterobi got 45.81% of the vote cast. Tinubu got 45.04% of the vote cast, while PDP got 5.96% of the vote cast. This result of Lagos is suspect. It's one of the issues that will be dealt with in the tribunal. Now, in Nasarawa State, in military installations, the result already uploaded in the IRIF. Nasarawa State, peterobi got 84.25% of the vote cast. APC got 5.82% of the vote cast. PDP got 9.93% of the vote cast. In the overall result announced by INEC for the state, peterobi, that's Labour Party, got 35.4% of the vote cast. APC got 31.99% of the vote cast. PDP got 27.21% of the vote cast. In Niger, this will also surprise you. In military installations in Niger, peterobi won it by 51.49% of the vote cast. And APC came second with 33.51% of the vote cast. PDP third with 15.03% of the vote cast. Now, in the overall result for Niger State, peterobi got only 10.33% of the vote cast. APC got 48.18% of the vote cast. And PDP got 36.59% of the vote cast. In Ogun State, it will interest you. This will also interest you. peterobi got won in military installations 45.31% of the vote cast, while APC got 39.06% of the vote cast, and PDP got 15.63% of the vote cast. You can see that peterobi won Ogun State in military installations by 45.31% of the vote cast, ahead of Tinubu and Atiku Abubakar. Now, if you look at the overall results of Ogun State, you see that peterobi got 14.79% of the vote cast. Tinubu now got 58.88% of the vote cast. Atiku got 21.35% of the vote cast in this state that is governed by APC. Now, in Ondo, peterobi got, at the military installations, 29.717% of the vote cast. Tinubu got 61.11% of the vote cast. Atiku got 9.72% of the vote cast. In the overall result, as announced by INEC, peterobi got 8.06% of the vote cast. Tinubu got 67.14% of the vote cast. Atiku got 20.95% of the vote cast. In Osun, peterobi lost in the military installations here because he got only 8.87% of the vote cast. Tinubu got 32.62% of the vote cast. Atiku got 58.51% of the vote cast. In the overall result, peterobi got 3.17% of the vote cast. 3.1% of the vote cast. Tinubu got 46.91% of the vote cast. Atiku got 48.33% of the vote cast. In Oyo State, peterobi got 22.72% of the vote cast in military installations and environs. Tinubu got 52.19% of the vote cast. Atiku got 25.10% of the vote cast. In the overall results in Oyo, Peterobi got 12.24% of the vote cast. Tinubu got 55.58% of the vote cast. Atiku got 22.6% of the vote cast. In Plateau State, Peterobi got at the military installations and environment, polling units and military installations and environment, 86.36% of the vote cast. Um, Tinubu got 12.12% of the vote cast. Atiku got 1.52% of the vote cast. In the general results of the state, Peter got 42.85% of the vote cast. Tinubu got 28.23% of the vote cast. And Atiku got 22.4% of the vote cast. In Rivers State, Peter got 89.35% of the votes cast at military installations and environment. Tinubu got 4.33% of the votes cast, while Atiku Abubakar got 6.33% of the vote cast. In the overall result, as announced by INEC, Peter got 33.43% of the votes cast. Tinubu got 44.23% of the vote cast, and Atiku Abubakar got 16.9% of the vote cast. You know that this result by Rivers State is being disputed also heavily. It's one of the states that P2B presented to the tribunal that he won, and it was unlawfully allocated to Aswad Bola Ahmed Tinubu as the winner of that state. Now, let us look at Sokoto State. At military installations, P2B got 15.46% of the vote cast. Tinubu got 43.87% of the vote cast. Atiku got 40.67% of the vote cast. In the actual election, in the overall election results, as announced by INEC, P2B got 1.12% of the vote cast. Tinubu got 48.64% of the vote cast. And Atiku got 49.19% of the vote cast. In Taraba State, P2B got 61.31% of the vote cast at military installations. Tinubu got 20.83% of the vote cast, and Atiku Abubakar got 17.86% of the vote cast. In the overall results announced by INEC, P2B got 29.3% of the vote cast. Tinubu got 27.7% of the vote cast, and Atiku Abubakar got 37.85% of the vote cast. In Yobe, there were no indications of any vote at military installations. So they were blank. But in the overall result announced by INEC, P2B got 0.64% of the vote cast. Tinubu got 40.03% of the vote cast. Atiku got 52.47% of the vote cast. In Zamfara State, P2B got at military installation 10.21% of the vote cast. Tinubu got 38.4% of the vote cast. Atiku got 51.4% of the vote cast at military installations. Now, in the overall result of the state, P2B got 0.33% of the vote cast. Tinubu got 59.33% of the vote cast. Atiku got 38.57% of the votes count. Now, according to this study by Dr. Obi Nawankwo, he said that some results were excluded for Rivers State. These results were uploaded 2 weeks after the presidential election and are clearly doctored, erased, and rewritten, even to the untrained eye. A trend can be observed from the result. The result for the ruling party in control of the state seems to be better than expected, except for Kwara State. A state result where the votes scored at military locations and environs deviate from that of the entire state by 20% of more or more could be considered suspicious. The result from military installations can be argued to be largely trustworthy because the likelihood of voting irregularities to occur at these locations can be considered low. The Nigerian military is composed of the different ethnic groups in Nigeria and is therefore a microcosm of the Nigerian population. The voting results from around the military installations and the immediate surrounding could therefore be argued to reflect the true voting patterns. Based on the foregoing, it is unlikely that the number of votes ascribed to the candidates at the majority of the states to be true. Okay? It says based on the foregoing, it's unlikely that the number of votes ascribed to the candidates at the majority of the states to be true. Now, this is where we're going to stop this. I was not looking at the time; it has already gone too far, and it's gone too far. But it's an interesting study that we have gone through, and we have to thank Dr. Obinna Nwanko for supplying this information to us. We are very grateful to him, and I'm very grateful to you, my subscribers, and every other person that watches this video. Thank you for staying tuned up to this time. And if you are new to my channel, you have not yet subscribed to my channel, please subscribe to my channel. Hit the subscription button, hit the notification bell. When you subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell, anytime I have a new video, you'll be among the first to know. God bless you and yours. And please don't forget to like this video, because when you like this video, Google will rank it high and recommend it for more people. Thank you, and God bless you and yours.